Hey, how you doing? You doing good? It's good to hear. Me, not so much. I'm literally melting in this heat. We're watching Erik's Joystick. I am Erik, of course, and today we're going to talk about a console that I should have talked about a couple months ago when the Switch came out, with the one that Nintendo was putting to bed finally. We're going to talk about the Nintendo Wii U, not like the controller. This is the gamepad, not the controller. We're gonna talk about the console and the controller. So the Wii U, that's that console that came out before the Switch. You know, that new hot thing that everybody wants. So much like the Nintendo Switch, the Wii U was a gamble. With the tablet controller that had a touchscreen and a headphone jack and an IR blaster and an NFC reader and built-in speakers. The Wii U kinda opened up the possibility of taking the home console experience and putting it on a handheld device. Sadly, this gamble didn't quite pay off for Nintendo. It didn't sell nearly as well as they'd hoped, part of Nintendo marketing the thing poorly. My guess is because the name is Wii U, and I guess they tried to catch lightning in a bottle twice, so to speak, like they did with the Wii. The name of the console probably confused most consumers. They probably thought the Wii U was like a tablet controller for the Wii or something like that. Then there's the underpowered hardware. Said underpowered hardware causing third-party support to basically dry up not too long into the system's life. On the upside, this pushed Nintendo to step out of its comfort zone, doing things like collaborating with other publishers, pushing indie developers to make memorable experiences exclusive to the console, and of course, making some memorable games themselves. In this video, I'm going to do a little send-off to the Wii U by talking about some Wii U games that I enjoyed or found memorable. I could easily put big games like Mario Kart 8 or Smash Bros. For the Wii U or Super Mario 3D World, but I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit. Just a little bit. Before you go any further, just know that I had a mostly mainstream experience with the Wii U. I played most of Nintendo's big titles, and I didn't really make a lot of time for indie games. Most of the stuff that was out on it, I played it on PC. So, there's that. Take that for what you will. Okay, so let's start off with The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. I'm gonna be honest, I only played the original for like an hour. It's not very long, I know. I put Wind Waker HD on this list because this game holds up very well, both from a graphical and a gameplay standpoint. Not only that, but it also shows that Nintendo has a good attitude towards HD remakes of their games. Better graphics, great Miiverse support, solid gameplay, little tweaks here and there that make the game much more enjoyable to play. The Wii U gamepad controls are a nice addition too. Being able to equip things from the touchscreen without having to pause the game is a great little feature. The Wind Waker is one of those games that can stand the test of time, and if we ever see another re-release somewhere down the line, it will definitely be as good as it was when the original came out 14 years ago. Alright, so next up is Bayonetta 1 and 2. Technically these both should have their own spots on this list, but I put them both in one spot because when Bayonetta 2 first launched, it also came with the original. Bayonetta was not only a great value, but is also on this list for many reasons. It was a collaboration between Nintendo and Platinum Games. The re-release of the original Bayonetta had Wii U exclusive content like costumes, and the sequel Bayonetta 2 was a Wii U exclusive thanks to Nintendo coming in to help Platinum develop it. Bayonetta also appeared in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS as a playable character. Nintendo's also going to release not one, but 2 amiibo figures based on Bayonetta. As for the games themselves, they both look, feel, and play very smoothly. Both games are elegant, sexy, polished, and just damn good fun. Sadly, because of the small install base of the Wii U, Bayonetta didn't do too good. It's a real shame, but who knows, maybe we'll see Bayonetta on the Nintendo Switch sometime in the future. And that seems really likely because Platinum's been teasing it as of recent. So next we have Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. We all know that recent entries in this series make this game feel a little dated, but it's on this list for a reason. That reason being it was one of the few Wii U games with a pretty decent online multiplayer mode. It was a server browser, text chat, and even voice chat. And it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Some things I really liked about it were things like connectivity with the 3DS version. You could play local multiplayer and you could transfer your save data between the Wii U and 3DS versions. Like the 3DS version, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on the Wii U also made really good use of the touchscreen. I really wish Capcom did the same thing with Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and Monster Hunter Generations because the 3DS from a graphical standpoint is starting to show its age. Luckily a Switch point of the next entry is in the works. Even though Capcom currently has no plans of bringing Monster Hunter on the Switch to the West, I'm hopeful they'll wise up and get around to it. The sooner the better. So next up we got Super Mario Maker. Mario Maker is one of those games that should have existed a long time ago. The thing that made it so great was that it was super easy to make, upload, and share courses that you've made online. Nintendo's also made it a lot easier too, with a website that lets you do things like bookmark courses, look at comments and rating on courses, and the ability to easily share your courses over social media. What made Super Mario Maker so memorable to me was how it hooked me by surprise. I spent a lot of time making my own stages, making things based on fun little themes like Wario being greedy or having Link obtain the Triforce. I love throwing in little surprises like death traps or boxes that trick you into unleashing enemies and hazards onto yourself or items that can give you an advantage in clearing the stage. I enjoyed sharing stages with my friends online and I enjoyed playing their stages as well. It's a real shame the 3DS version is such a disappointment. I would have loved to have a game like Super Mario Maker in a portable space. That's interesting because it sold a lot more on the 3DS than it did on the Wii U. Hopefully we'll see a Switch port somewhere down the line. So now we got Star Fox Zero. This is another Platinum Nintendo collaboration, which would have seemed like a match made in heaven according to Hideki Kamiya of Platinum Games. Instead, it turned out to be one of the most polarizing games to come to the Wii U. While the game looked and ran amazingly on the Wii U's hardware, a lot of people were turned off by the gameplay. You aim and shoot with the Wii U gamepad, and you can lock onto enemies during all ranged sequences, and use the gamepad as a cockpit to get a better view. The game had a few new ideas, but quite a few people felt Nintendo was innovating for the sake of innovating on this one. Other than a few minor things, I had a great time with it. It was really nice to see Star Fox come back in glorious high definition. I thought the controls, once you got used to them, were really good, and I hope that Nintendo can look past the cold reception Star Fox Zero got and maybe give it another try. I think it'd be a good fit on the Nintendo Switch. Maybe Star Fox 64 HD with split screen and online multiplayer, maybe with co-op. That would be pretty dope. So now we're on the last game of this list. I kind of hold this one a little near and dear to my heart, and I really feel like it should have gotten a whole lot more love. That game is...
The Wonderful 101!
The Wonderful 101. What do you get when you mix a game like Pikmin, action games like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, with the aesthetic of things like Beautiful Joe and Power Rangers? You get The Wonderful 101. The Wonderful 101 is a game developed by Platinum and published by Nintendo. This was one of the 3 collaborations between Platinum and Nintendo for the Wii U. It wasn't a perfect game though. There were issues like the steep learning curve, which I actually liked, the small but noticeable frame rate issues, and some issues I had with the game's control inputs. In the end though, they're all forgivable, and it didn't ruin my experience with the game. It was a great fit for the Wii U, and it made great use of the Wii U's unique gamepad controller. And everything about it was just fun, frantic, and fast-paced. Plus, it had some great moments and an amazing soundtrack. It's a huge bummer that not many people were willing to give it a chance. I recently saw Platinum teasing this game on their Japanese Twitter account, and there's speculation going around that this game is going to be brought to the Switch. And I hope that's true. That's all I really want for this game. I want more people to enjoy and appreciate this fantastic little game because it literally is the best Wii U game that nobody played.
Special Combat Agent, Sentinel's Planetary Secret Service, Blossom City Field Office, also known as Wonder Red.
So those are just a few of my favorite Wii U games. Some honorable mentions go out to Xenoblade Chronicles X, Twilight Princess HD, Hyrule Warriors, Game & Wario, and some eShop games like Affordable Space Adventures, Fast Racing Neo, and Elliot Quest. Another thing I'll miss about the Wii U is Miiverse. Miiverse is, or was, I can't remember if it's still up and running anyway. It was Nintendo's stab at a social network, a place where each game had a community page and you can talk about tips, share in-game experiences, look for groups and multiplayer games, and chat with developers. It was also a good place to find some quality shitposts, or spicy memes as the kids put it these days. I don't know the lingo. So that's it. Those are a few things I liked about the Wii U. Are there things that I disliked? Sure there are. Nintendo's handling of Virtual Console, the system UI being painfully slow, a lack of basic online features like cloud saving, and of course the fact that digital titles are bound to your system, so if your system breaks down, you can't just buy a new one, sign into your account, and re-download them. No. You're gonna have to send it to Nintendo and have them do all of that for you. Oh, and of course the massive update you had to install when you first get the system, which gives you access to all of the system's features. I remember that update when I first got the system. It was like 4 gigs and it took me like a couple hours to download and install. That's kind of ridiculous. Did I mention the storage options? When has 32 gigabytes been enough storage space on a console that can play full retail games on the system memory? Never. Don't get me started on the Switch either. Like 32 gigabytes on the Switch? Really? Really, Nintendo? Anyway, to end on a positive note, the Wii U was a quirky, fun console, and even though the system might have been kind of a flop, I loved it. If you're still interested in the Wii U, now would be a good time to pick one up, I think. A lot of the games and accessories are pretty cheap if you can find them, which is great because that Wii U Pro Controller feels pretty great in the hand. And right now, the library is big enough to justify the purchase. There's also backwards compatibility with the Wii games. Actually, the entire Wii OS is on the system too, so you can go to the Wii Shop channel and get games from there too. So what were some of your favorite experiences with the Wii U? What are some of your favorite games on the system? Leave a comment below. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm Erik, and I'm out of here. Peace.